We'll go through this portion of practice. Again, we've got 2 hours of practice. We had it earlier today with the North, 2 hours now with the South. Tomorrow, we'll be back at it in the morning with 2 hours, and then 2 hours in the early afternoon. The game, of course, Saturday at 2:30. Dak Prescott working right now with the offense from Mississippi State.
How's Ben? Huh? Doing all right. Cold.
Bill Polian saying hello to all the passers-by.
Hey, good pursuit now. Don't chase same color jersey on your way to the ball. Let's go, Cyrus.
That's the voice of Gus Bradley, head coach for the Jaguars, also coaching the South team this weekend. Let's take a listen.
Landmarks, landmarks.
Coach Bradley picked the wrong time to go off a clip on us.
Josh,
there we go.
As you drop, see the quarterback too now. Get good reroutes. Good. Break. All right. Pretty good, Cyrus. Pretty good, Cyrus. Hey, Cyrus, nice job hinging. Good job. What is it, D-Watt? What's it called? Okay. Hey, you're all right. You're back. I see you. You just feel a seam right here. Take care of it.
Lewis is down there on the field with us. Lewis, what are you seeing here on this 7-7?
Yeah, you know, I see it's a defensive secondary, especially on the corners here, that are playing pretty aggressive and really driving hard on short underneath routes, doing a good job of getting jams underneath when they're playing cover 2 type stuff. And a guy who really who's been catching my eye consistently now is James Bradbury from Sanford, the corner, who's on the right corner right now against Malcolm Mitchell. This is a guy who just fell down on that route trying to break on the dig route, but this is a kid who is about 6'1". Let's see, slightly under, well, about 209 pounds, 210 pounds. I mean, he has the perfect prototypical body type of the big corner that everyone is looking for right now. And if you would have saw him in the one-on-ones, I mean, you see him just absolutely take Malcolm Mitchell and jam him up at the line and then slam him to the ground. And me and Joey were sitting here watching it together, and Joey looked at me like, hey, I'm a wide receiver. That's not happening to me. I'm getting right back out there and challenging him again, because that's what we're talking about here as far as the competitive component. How do you respond when you have a good play, and then when you're Malcolm Mitchell, when you basically get embarrassed, how are you going to respond and come back at him?
And you can tell now the defensive backs, their confidence is high. And when you jam a guy, when you put him down, that's the kind of play you got to make. Shepherd down the field. Those are the kind of plays that get the offense rolling, get some confidence back in the receivers and the quarterbacks, because early on in this practice, the defensive backs have played well. They look good in the one-on-one, and their confidence, and that's why they're so aggressive, because no one has made a play on the outside from the receiver spot.
Here we go, man. Here we go. Pull away your back, man. Left rep.
Jake Coker under center right now for the South team here. Bill, what do you make of Coker? Really came on at the end of the year, as with just about everybody on that Alabama Crimson Tide team, including this young man right here, Kenyon Drake. But Coker, so many question marks, even at the early part of the year. He played within himself, though, down the stretch.
Yeah, well, he got more comfortable in the system. We just saw in that play he missed the tight end that was streaking down the field, but hit the check down. He's got a bit of a hitch in his release, a little bit of a cock of his wrist before he releases the ball. So that's something you probably want to clean up in terms of mechanics. But he's got good size. But you can tell that he's adapting to a new offense here, and it's not coming out as quickly as you'd like. Now, that was fine, but the ball was a bit high. That was a good read. I'm down here with the quarterback, so I've got, I'm listening to the coaching points. He got the right read there and got it out on time.
Lewis, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as far as Coker's concerned, it's kind of the same for me. You know, everything with him seems to, like, it needs to speed up. Everything needs to happen a bit faster. The reads need to come quicker. The ball needs to come out quicker. The decision-making has to be quicker, and that's a function of being more comfortable. That's something that should improve as the week goes on. But right now, I mean, a lot of these guys, their head is swimming. They're just trying to learn terminology, learn what the formation is supposed to look like, where everybody's supposed to be, where's the ball supposed to go. So all that stuff takes time, and all that slows down the entire process. Again, day 2 of a fully padded practice, which will be tomorrow, is where you should see the biggest jump as far as everyone's operational quickness, meaning how fast they get in and out of the huddle, up to the line of scrimmage, call a play, execute it, get back to the huddle, call the next one. Everything should be much crisper the second day.
And the coaches are harping down here with the quarterbacks on get it out quick, get it out quick. Make your read, get the ball out quickly. This is a quick game, obviously, they're running.
Lewis, you talk about these quarterbacks and speeding things up. Not a lot of these guys have to go through progressions in college. You know what I mean? Especially if you've watched Coker and the Alabama offense. A lot of times it was get back, let's go deep. Let's throw the ball downfield, or let's run a little screen routes to the outside. So there's not a lot of progressions going on. Then they come to this level, and all of a sudden, you have to go through your progressions. These defenses are much better. You're going to get so many more looks, so many different coverages than you'll see in college. So now, after you get the ball in your hands, after the snap, all of a sudden, you have to read the defense, where they've moved to, where they shifted to, and sometimes come down to your second, third, or fourth receiver, and quarterbacks have to make that adjustment. And it's tough. That's their second day of practice, like you mentioned. So that's something that they are getting used to. Their head is getting wrapped around the idea of this defense isn't what it was when the ball was snapped. Now, who is my third guy? Where's my fourth guy? And you have to know that without thinking, just get to it automatically.
Yeah, and taking it another step further, remember right now we're just talking about 7-on-7. So there's no pass rush. There's no bodies in front of you. You don't have to throw the ball over anyone in front of you or getting pushed back into your lap as far as like maybe your offensive lineman getting driven back by a bull rush. So really everything looks a lot cleaner for you now. Now when you get it to 11-on-11, it just adds another layer onto the equation for a quarterback. And that's why, hey, when you find a good one, they're a dime a dozen. I mean, they're not a dime a dozen. I mean, these are hard guys to find. It's hard to play this position in the NFL. And that's what we're out here for. That's what everyone's out here for, especially when you're looking at this position, is to find the guys that you hope project to being quality NFL quarterbacks. This is a very, very tough position to play.
And, you know, Reese is the prime example of why virtually every college quarterback coming out these days needs a full year on the bench to adapt to the NFL. He's just struggling to get the reads down that Joey mentioned. Everybody's excited because they finished the play, which is a good thing. But he's struggling to get the reads down that Joey mentioned. And as a result, everything is slower. The timing is all fouled up. And if we had a defensive rush out here, there would be a lot of sacks because they're holding on to the ball too long. It's just a function of learning how to read quickly, which they do not, as Joey said, they do not do at the college level as a matter of course.
Quinn Kesnick standing by right now on the field with Kevin White. Quinn?
Jake Coker, that big game against Michigan State, 25 of 30. Always looks the part, but until there's a live rush, are you learning enough about him?
Well, you see the physical skill set. I mean, the size, the arm strength, the ability to stretch the field. About a lot of these quarterbacks, they got size. They got NFL bodies this year. It's different. You see the throw down here on the seam. It just the projection, the drive behind it. The biggest thing is when the bullets are flying for him. I think when the rush comes, a little bit of a panic, doesn't always maintain pocket presence as well as poise to get through those progressions. And I think that's a baseline trait at the next level. You got to be patient. You got to be able to avoid the rush avoid while keeping your eyes downfield and getting through progressions. That's the biggest thing for me in watching a quarterback is your pocket presence. What's your poise? Are you calm, relaxed in the pocket? Are you accurate? Are you able to get through progressions? That's where I think Coker's biggest thing. So from my evaluation standpoint, I want to see on Saturday when the bullets start flying and he's live in action.
In terms of the other three, did you see on tape issues with them getting the ball out on time?
No, I didn't. The one guy that stands out to me is Brandon Allen's an interesting guy. I was disappointed with the hand size, obviously, coming in. I actually had 3 of their games. And the one thing he does have is what I talked about, the pocket presence. You go back to the Mississippi State tape. He had 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He put on a clinic against the blitz. Didn't panic. The ability to rush avoid, kept his eyes down the field, got through progressions in big moments, made big plays and big throws. To me, Brandon Allen, a lot of pocket presence. To me, a day 3 guy you bring in, kind of like a Matt Flynn, Brian Hoyer type, maybe not a starter, but maybe can spot start for you and play a long time in this league.
Good point, Chris. And you remember Arkansas this year. They started out the year as kind of a running team. By the end of the year, they're throwing for 500 a game.
Yeah.
And Allen was quite a gamer late in the season.
Yeah, Quinn, he was. And, we mentioned earlier, too, that Bielema, I think, by nature, wants to run the football. And Ed Williams and Collins at the beginning of the year. Williams goes down with the injury. They still have Collins as a 1,000-yard rusher as Dak Prescott lets it go. Good coverage downfield. Couldn't quite make the play, Jonathan Jones, but Dwayne Walker obviously liked the coverage. He's the defensive backs coach for the Jaguars. Let's take a listen.
Oh! Get the call, get the call, get the call. What's the down and distance? 3rd down. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 7. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, we gotta win.